Wow, wow, what a pick. They don't go with the conventional corporate pick for once. Wow, yes. Tim Walz, wow. A man of the people, a football coach, a high school coach. He was with the National Guard. He was with the military. This guy was a teacher at an Indian reservation. This guy has a great progressive record in Minnesota. He provides breakfast for free for kids in school who can't afford it. This guy is an absolute winner for the people. This guy is a hunter too. He's going to allow rural Republicans to be able to hunt and not be so intrusive with their hunting rights. Tim Walz is a winner for the people. This was the most progressive pick that the Democrats had. Amazing, amazing, amazing. He's born on April the 6th, and Kamala Harris can become the 46th person to become the president. That's what April the 6th is about. Timothy Walz's birthday to the day that Biden dropped out is 15 weeks and a day, 151, and also 106 days. Kamala is born at Oakland, California. Oakland, California, 106, the prophecy of the first female president. And as I've told y'all, Lisa Simpson is the 15 weeks in a day that we speak about. So this is all connected to the first female president. 122 days from April the 6th to August the 6th from Walz's birthday to today. Abortion is the winning issue in the election. Abortion is Gematria 122. Walz Harris 2024 is Gematria of 62. I'm not sure what 62 is about just yet, but that's perfectly okay. What's the amount of time from his birthday to Kamala's birthday? "28 weeks. Kamala gonna take the crown for the first female president? I think that's what Walz Harris 2024 is about. What about his full name? What about his last name? Timothy James Walton, the reverse reduction is August the 6th. Timothy Walz 172, I believe, is Gematria first female president. Timothy Walz in the reverse is Gematria of Kamala Devi Harris. And the passing of the torch to the first female president, and she will be inaugurated 53 months after Biden announced she was the running mate. Now, Kamala Devi Harris is Gematria of 91. She chooses a running mate 91 days before the election. Coronated is Gematria of 91. Wow. What a pleasant surprise. What a pleasant surprise this was. The best possible pick. Bringing people in rural areas all together. Bringing the swing voters in the Midwest. He was the best possible choice. Donald Trump just lost the election. Governor Timothy James Walz, 118, Gematria. President Kamala Devi Harris is Gematria 118. 118 prior Congresses. Think the day that Biden dropped out, to Electoral College Day, the Democratic National Convention, the last day of the convention, the day that Kamala Harris will speak, to the day that the Electoral College is going to formally vote for Kamala Harris would be 118 days later. So the governor is the running mate, Kamala is the president, and 118 days later, Kamala is elected by the Electoral College. His birthday is the 96th day of the year. President Kamala Harris is Camacho 96. Trump's toast. He's burnt toast. He is absolutely cooked. Vice President Walz is Camacho of the 28 weeks separating their birthdays. Vice President Tim Walz, 116, is Camacho of Kamala Devi Harris, 116. Shapiro was the more coded candidate. I think Shapiro was the most coded candidate because he was obviously the top corporate choice. But then again, hopefully the Democratic Party is going more to the left like it should. Hopefully things are changing. Hopefully. Yeah, he's obviously not the president. Kamala still has to be a great president. This is brilliant for the campaign. This is just brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. What a pleasant surprise. Pleasantly surprised. Wow. Maybe the Dems do have a chance for 2028. Walz received 100% rating from Planned Parenthood for the American Civil Liberties Union and for the National Organization of Women. You know, obviously these billionaire organizations are not going to like him because he actually wants to tax the wealthy to pay the good things that we the people benefit from. National Guard and Reserve Component Caucus, Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus, Congressional Veterans Jobs Caucus. Veterans are going to love this guy. They're not going to like J.D. Vance. Education and healthcare reform, these are top issues for the American people. He did immediately resort to racist dog whistles after the George Floyd incident. He wanted police reform after the people were outraged after the incident involving George Floyd. I think this is great, what the legislation did in Minnesota. Was it really necessary to hold this guy at a chokehold? It required training peace officers to deal with people with autism or in a mental health crisis or under a situation where they're under the influence of drugs. A special independent unit at the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, investigations of fatal police encounters, and a community relations advisory council to consult with the police officer standards. He did great things. He did great things. Very progressive record in Minnesota. Required paid leave, cannabis legalization, Infrastructure spending. Donald Trump didn't pass any infrastructure bill. Biden passed a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Codifying abortion rights. Universal free school meals. Universal gun background checks. The most productive session in Minnesota history. I wonder if it really was. He vetoed a bill intended to increase pay for rideshare drivers. Well, he is great. He spoke out against the TARP bailouts in 2008. Obama voted for that bill as a senator. Hillary Clinton did too. He was against the automobile bailouts. It didn't matter because these bills still passed. He was a public school teacher for 20 years. No merit pay for teachers, which is great. Sometimes it all starts at home with the parents' attitude. You can't put it all on the teacher. Supporting legislation for lower tuition costs. This guy is great for education. This guy's a win. He's a win for the people. Now, while in Congress, he was a strong supporter of gun rights because he's an avid hunter. Following Parkland shooting in 2018, now common sense has gotten into his head. He wanted more gun regulation to prevent these deranged individuals from shooting up schools. Universal background checks and red flag laws for people who may be a threat to the public. Mandated paid sick leave for employees. Increased safety inspections. Ergonomics requirements reduce the risk of repetitive strain injuries for warehouse and healthcare factory workers. More protection for construction workers against wage theft. Now he's going to fire up the young people with the Israeli-Hamas war. He condemned the initial attack by Hamas. The people have the right to be heard. He will govern based on what the people will want. Support the ceasefire. Stop the war. This is what Tim Walz supports. He has championed enhanced veterans' rights since 2007. The House unanimously passed his Traumatic Brain Injury Center Act, set up 5 centers around the nation to study traumatic brain injuries and develop improved methods for caring for veterans suffering from such diseases. A GI Bill that expanded education benefits for veterans. Suicide Prevention for American Veterans Act. The VA to report on veteran mental health care and suicide prevention programs. It gives the VA permission to provide incentives to psychiatrists who agree to join the VA medical system. He introduced a bill that would amend the Internal Revenue Code of 1986 to allow tax credits for employees who are deployed to the military. A 100% reading from Planned Parenthood on abortion rights. He's a great family man. He's still married to his wife ever since 1994. Tell you, this guy's a winner. This guy was the best possible pick. Now, there's no doubt the Democrats are sweeping the Midwest. You can kiss the election bye-bye. The Democrats have gone, they played offense. Georgia's going blue. They didn't show up to Donald Trump's rally in Georgia. North Carolina may be a question, but then again, Obama won North Carolina. I think North Carolina is going blue. Donald Trump has zero chance of winning Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Donald Trump can win Georgia. He can win North Carolina. He can win Arizona. Basically what you're looking at. When the Democrats sweep the Midwest, all they have to do now is win 1 out of 3 between Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona. Okay, they lose Georgia, they win Arizona, Democrats win. Don't worry, we will go for Kamala in Arizona. Don't worry about that. We support the Democrats in Arizona. We the people, the good people of the Grand Canyon State, are against election deniers. They can win Arizona, but Georgia goes blue, the election is over. They can lose Georgia and Arizona and win North Carolina to win the election. Republican Party is cooked. They are cooked. They are absolutely fried. Donald Trump is going to have a big loss that has never been seen before. Okay, we've seen bigger losses of 400 electoral votes, 1980, 1932, what have you. But basically, Donald Trump is cooked. This is my election map. I remain the most questionable about North Carolina. I'm not sure about North Carolina, but I think the massive blue wave is coming. The rest of these maggot little retarded little states, they're useless. They can't think for themselves. There's no education in these rural areas. They don't mean shit over there. Georgia, they're moving to the cities over there. They're moving to Phoenix here in Arizona. Tucson is increasing. These 3 states, these are historically blue. They always go Democrat every single election, except an anomaly of 2016. North Carolina and Georgia are 2 states Democrats can win. They won Georgia and Arizona the last election. And mind you, this was with Senile Joe. This election is over. But Tim Walz is not coded as much as Josh Shapiro. It's because he's not the corporate pick. He actually is for the people. He actually is for hunters. He's a football coach. He's a school coach. He's part of the National Guard. He was a veteran. Tim Walz. This was the best possible pick. He is for the people. There's no doubt about it. He worked a blue-collar manufacturing job after high school. Who can hate Tim Walz? You can't attack Jim Walz. He represented a large, mostly rural section of southern Minnesota. He understands rural voters. He is a game changer. An absolute game changer, Timothy Walz. Vice President Timothy Walz has come out to the 60th election. He's 60 years of age. And Donald Trump is cooked.